Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your April reading, and happy April Fool's Day. All right, here we go. This reading is called Boomerang. Let's start with April 3rd. Mercury will be in Taurus. April 21st, Mercury will begin its retrograde in Taurus. For you, especially if you're a Scorpio rising, this is all about relationships. All the things you didn't know how to say, all the people that you didn't know how to say it to. Oh no, Umber, again? Hey, I'm just looking at the astrology. I'm not making it. So, you know that urge you have to get everything perfect and how it's kept you? I'm doing it right now. How it's kept you from living your life and maybe saying how you feel? Yeah, it catches up. And that Mercury retrograde in Taurus wants you to talk about all those things that you said you didn't feel. All those times that you may not have been telling the truth. All those topics you continue to avoid. Now, you're going to have to be brave because this is not easy to talk about. It's uncomfortable. And talking things out is not your forte, and that's okay. But Mercury goes retrograde across from you, and, well, it's like you just can't keep it in. You just have to say it. And you have to be brave because a lot of what you're gonna say, it doesn't paint you in the best light. A lot of what you're coming to terms with and saying out loud in April has to do with how you've been in the past and how you don't want to be again. So there's no use in judging yourself, but it is a great time to look very honestly at what it's been like in the past. Here, the Queen of Wands speaks to an abuse of power, control. The Seven of Cups is the confusion, the fear, the deception that causes the need for control. So the Seven of Cups says, I get it. I get why you were being the way you were being. But we still need to talk about it, and we still need to address it because it takes the best parts of you and flips them. This tendency, when afraid, to grasp at control, takes the best parts of you and turns them against you. So what's that Nine of Pentacles when it's right side up? It's safety, it's security. It's one who is keenly aware of their value, their worth. Someone who is quite relaxed. The bird of prey that she holds on her arm denotes one who knows. One who knows what goes on in the air and one who is firmly planted on the earth. So one who is quite adept in many realms and has information from many realms. That sounds like you. Now, what happens when someone who has access to various forms of information, various outlets that others don't, what happens when that person is feeling suspicious, confused, paranoid? Do you see how what is a gift turns against you? It can start to feed something irregular, something unnecessary as well. Something that makes you hold on that much tighter. And if that hand of yours happens to be around somebody's throat, things get very messy very quickly when you're afraid. Now, add to this ability to access information from various realms, add to that great and unique ability the venom. The Queen of Swords, right side up, someone who is exceedingly adept at making their point. Queen of Swords in reverse. Someone who sticks their sword in you long after the point's been made. Someone who makes their point with the tip of a sword. Right? For you in reverse here, this talks about those moments where in your confusion, in your fear, in your vulnerability, you end up saying something that as it's leaving your lips, you know you will never be able to take back, and that the person to whom it is directed will never be able to forget it. And because you are a good person, when all of this past comes up, it will happen from the 21st to the 15th of May, and it happens the day after the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse will be in Aries, in the last degrees of Aries, so very close to Taurus, which again puts you in the crosshairs relationship-wise. So when all this info, all these realizations, all this awareness is dumped on you, it's not the most pleasant thing. Of course, your first inclination will be to struggle that much harder to gain control back. What do you mean 4 cards are flipped in our reading? That's bullshit. And then as the month progresses, you will begin to understand what most people around you already understand and have known for a while that you need. What is that? Well, it's that need to talk about all the stuff that you keep saying doesn't bother you. That obviously is bothering. Sorry, Baba called. So, all that stuff that everyone around you knows you need to talk about, but you, for some reason, keep avoiding. Now, this could be personal stuff, could be relationship stuff. It could be more broad than that. Just topics that you refuse to engage on. And you got people confused. But they see this moment coming for you. And I think anyone that really loves you needs this for you, this release, because they can see how painful it is to keep it all inside. Now, on the 11th, it's important that you just be a little bit softer. Dress a little bit more soft, not quite so extreme. Don't be so stubborn. Be more compromising around the 11th. You're not, the fact that I have to point that out is, right, just denotes the rigidity of your character this month. It's not the best time to start something new. It's not the best time to be around the people that always want to push you to the edge. The people who feel like shocking you or making you uncomfortable is good fun. You have a couple of people like that around. Let's just leave them alone in April. You have enough issues ultimately. You don't need, on top of everything else that you're dealing with that's boomeranging back around from the past, to also feel jilted in the present. And people are so weird in April that it's possible to feel jilted through no fault of your own, and therefore just add pressure and stress to a time that is deeply introspective. And we don't need any extra self-loathing thrown in there. So new relationships aren't advised. But you do have this huge intimacy moment where like you have this epiphany about intimacy and you feel your feelings completely. Some of these you haven't felt in a long time, and allowing yourself to feel them will change you. You may even embrace something that you've been running from for a very long time. And you know what the result of this epiphany is? If you were to boil it down to its essence, you want to have fun again. You want to be in love again. You want to like get mixy again, you know? You're ready for all the stuff you can't say and all the stuff you wish you would have said to be over and done with. You're ready for it to get out of your head, out of your heart. It's okay. You're fine with, feeling empty a little bit when all those sublimated feelings aren't there to keep you company anymore. But Persephone's got to go. Springtime's back, and you're going to have to unclench. You're going to have to open your hand. You're going to have to let her go. And in that yearly pursuit of spring, as she ascends back to the surface, you find yourself wanting to follow her. You find yourself, after the solar eclipse in Aries, to be quite defenseless, exposed. Everyone knows your secrets. Everyone knows how you've been feeling. Everyone knows what you want next. And what they can feel most of all from you is that you want more for yourself. You want bigger. You want better. You have seen very clearly where you have been holding yourself back, where you have been fighting your own greatness. By the end of the month, it doesn't matter if this understanding came at the expense of some heavily guarded feelings, secrets that you didn't want getting out. Once it's out there, once you have to feel it instead of ignoring it, you'll find, as we always do, that it wasn't as bad as harboring it and denying it all this time. So this is not to say that you have an epiphany in April and decide, that was the person for me, or I should go back to this thing from the past. No. It's a reconciling with the past, but with your role in the past. Not with anyone that you left back there. Why did I say what I said? Why did I deny that I said it for so long? Why did I do what I did? Why did I deny the consequences of what I had done? I knew what I was doing. All of these things have been put away all year. And when you have a very blunt look at them, it won't be as painful as you think. The pain will not persist. Once you feel it completely, it will leave you. And in the void that is left, where regret, resentment, even towards self, used to be, you can inject some dreams. something more for yourself, something bigger, something you know you deserve. I mean, once you have all that empty room in your mind and your heart, you may as well do something nice for yourself. May not be exciting work, Scorpio, but you will feel so much better. Light as air, in fact, when the sun does move across from you into Taurus. And we'll talk about that in the extended. I love you. So mucho, in fact, I hope you know. And if you're worried about anyone out there having access to your secrets and your vulnerabilities and your feelings, I don't like this, I don't want this. Just realize that we all have the same secrets and we all have the same feelings. Nobody is surprised that there is a heart underneath all this, Scorpio. Only you. Love you.